What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle. My name's Blitz Link. I am here with Dan Loya. Dan, we got Thursday night football. We got the Texans versus the Buffalo Bills in Houston, a game that we gave away tickets to. Hopefully, Mr. Matt Salomonson, the winner of the giveaway, is going to enjoy that one. But Dan, we got to talk more about football here. Uh, going to be interesting. No CJ Stroud in this one for the Houston Texans. What are your thoughts entering this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's a first off, it's a big game. You look at this Thursday night schedule. Usually, we don't get good matchups like this one, but overall, both teams need a win. It's kind of going to be like an early playoff feel. I think both teams came into the season expected to win their division. And then now you look at both teams. The Buffalo Bills currently sit at 7-3. They're in second place. They're chasing the Patriots. They got to keep up with them. Also, the Texans are in third place. They're 500 right now, and they need to keep winning. They're on the outside looking in the playoff hunt, and they can't afford to lose. So I expect the Texans to play extremely desperate on Thursday, and it should be a really good game, man. A really physical game, and I know you came out with a video on the Blitz Sports Media YouTube channel, but overall, man, like all these AFC teams have flaws,
Yeah.
and everybody can be beat on any given day, and it's Thursday night and anything can happen. So I'm real excited about it.
Yeah, it's the AFC having flaws is definitely the storyline of the year, which is, a
Yeah,
conference with most majority of the best quarterbacks in football, right? A lot of great coaches over there and some great defenses. You'd think we'd have a little more consistency, but we have no clue who's
no,
going to come out of the AFC this year. So it's interesting. Buffalo, this is a great test for their offense. Houston's defense is no joke despite their record, and Houston's given the Buffalo Bills problems at times over the past few
yeah,
seasons. So I think D'Amico Ryans is going to have a very good game plan in this one. I think that James Cook is going to be slowed down. It's going to come down to Josh Allen and those pass catchers there without Dalton Kincaid in this one again, Dan. So they're going to have to find ways to get guys implemented. They looked good last week against Tampa Bay in a favorable matchup, but this is a much different story against Houston to where they've absolutely blanketed every single offense they've faced this year. So with Buffalo, let's see how they look, right? It's going to be interesting there. Then
yeah,
Houston, man, they're on a little bit of a winning streak right now. It's ugly. It's not pretty. I don't expect them to be that good when it's all said and done. I don't expect them to get into the dance, but they're definitely a tough, gritty team. And with that defense, they have a chance every single week. So let's take a look at that matchup that everybody's going to want to look at: the Texans defense versus the Bills offense. What are you looking at in that matchup, Dan?
yeah. Well, it's the Texans currently ranked number one in the NFL in scoring defense. They're only allowing 16.3 points per game. On the other hand, the Bills, man, the Bills can put up points. They're averaging about 29 points per game. So, something's got to give on Thursday, man. It's gonna be tough. Like I can see I think for Houston to win this game, the defense has to carry him. Obviously, like they got to cause havoc, get some turnovers, something similar to what Josh Allen had to deal with on Monday night against Atlanta weeks ago. So if Houston can kind of implement that game plan, they could win, but they got to carry the team on Thursday. Like it's tough because rely too much on them. Like even last week, like Josh Allen scored 6 total touchdowns. Like that's gonna be tough against this team, but that's what the Bills do. And what's surprising is, uh, you know, James Cook is one of the best running backs in the NFL, and I think he's gonna find the end zone on Thursday. But the Texans haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher this entire year.
Hmm.
So it's like what this is kind of how you beat the Bills. You got to stop the run, make somebody else beat you. So it's going to be interesting, man. Like what's going to happen? I think those corners are going to lock down those Bills receivers. And I mean, they couldn't get open against the Dolphins. You think they're going to get open Thursday? I don't know. One thing I did notice though from Houston's game last week is Cam Ward had a lot of success with design like rollouts and boots. And since the Texans play a lot of zone, they're playing a lot of zone beaters and like people were wide open on the corner on the sidelines. So I think that the only difference was Cam Ward kind of he missed like two of them and hit one. So he was 1 for 3 on those throws. If they do that with Josh Allen, I think he's going to go perfect 3 for 3 on those throws. So I think that's going to be the difference. So pay attention tomorrow if the Bills run a lot of bootlegs to the right and left and see if those receivers run wide open. I think they will be. But overall, man, I think man, this is gonna be a tough game. Uh, but I think the Bills are gonna put up some points.
Yeah, I think, with Buffalo, a lot of people are concerned that James Cook is their main solution right now, but having Josh Allen as your fallback in your offensive game plan is never a bad idea for sure. And it takes the pressure off of Josh Allen, right? This is kind of the argument that a lot of people have against Andy Reid right now is everything's on Mahomes' shoulder on a per play basis. Josh Allen has a running game he can lean on. He can get into the flow of the game. And I think, despite people criticizing that, I think it helps him be more effective and efficient and ultimately, produce much more and move this offense along. They don't have the pass catchers. So having a 40 pass attempt game for Josh Allen is not the recipe for success for this squad. They got to be able to run the football. And I know that James Cook is going against a tough Houston Texans defense, but Dan, this is a game here where I think that, they should be able to establish the run a bit, but they'll also focus on Khalil Shakir in the slot. They'll utilize their different tight ends. It'll be a spread the wealth type game, and Josh Allen's legs will be a big factor like they always are against the Texans. While it is a tough defensive matchup, I think they'll get theirs at times. I think the Bills' offensive line matches up very well with what the Texans do at their edge rushers. So I think that's going to negate the pass rush a bit, but I think the Bills' offense still has a slight edge over that elite Texans defense. Let's look at the other side of the ball, Dan. The Texans beat up offense versus the Bills defense that's been very inconsistent this year.
Yeah, so this is just like going back to your video, the flawed contenders, man. Like the Bills can't stop the run. That's their one weakness, and eventually it's gonna bite them, especially in the playoffs. But on Thursday, I don't know if the Texans will be able to capitalize on that. All season, one of their knocks is they haven't been able to run the ball. I don't care who the running back is. Just they always lose the line of scrimmage battle each and every week.
Yeah.
Just go like look back on the Seattle Seahawks game on Monday night with Houston. They had the ball like 4th and 1 a couple times. They couldn't get goal line, 4th and inches, you know, they couldn't get any push with their offensive line, like, you're not gonna win games if you lose the battle line of scrimmage, and, like, I don't think they'll be able to take care of, Buffalo's weakness. Buffalo's 31st ranked against the run. If Houston wants to win this game, they have to run the ball and have to find success. Look at what the Bucks did last week. Tucker had 3 touchdowns. They put up over 30 points. So, what I don't know, like, Houston's gotta run the ball. If they wanna win this game, they have to find success, but I don't think they will. I haven't seen it for 8 weeks, 8, 9, 10 weeks now, so, man, it's gonna be tough, and, that Bills secondary plays really good with zone coverage, and, they're starting to get healthy now. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be a tough game for Houston.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. It's going to be a heavy lean on Woody Marks and Nick Chubb in that backfield for them,
Yeah,
and they're going to have to get going. They don't have the best offensive line in football by any means, but they're going to have to establish their will. And we've seen teams that are a pass heavy approach, kind of like the Bucks were, the Chiefs were, the Pats are a little bit like those passing games have regressed because this Bills pass defense is really good, right? But their run defense is really bad. So Houston their game plan should be let's get our running backs the ball 30 times in this one. Let's take the pressure off of Davis Mills. I know we have Nico Collins, but the matchup is not great, right? So I think with that matchup, they look at trying to heavy run, control the game clock. That is the way that Houston tries to stay in this game is they have 7 to 8 minute drives. Their defense gets a stop when they need it here and there, forces field goals. That'll keep Houston in the game and it'll be a one-score game. And then, in the fourth quarter, you take your chances. But if Houston's inability to run the football on early downs and get ahead of the sticks, they're screwed. You cannot pass against this Buffalo Bills defense and have success. And that's the biggest thing, right? You look at some of the matchups that the Bills have in the games that they've lost. They lost against run heavy teams that were able to
yeah,
beat them up at the line of scrimmage and move the ball. They don't really lose to pass heavy teams. So going into the postseason and going into later games that this team faces, you got to look at those matchups and see how the Buffalo Bills are going to face. And this team, the Houston Texans, who don't really have an offensive identity, they won last week because Davis Mills had a big game through the air. They won the week before. Davis Mills had a big game through the air. Wasn't the ground game that's been consistent for Houston. So once again, matchup to Buffalo. All right, Dan, picks
yeah.
time. Who are we going with here, and what prop bets do you like heading into this matchup?
Yeah, so just historically, but the Buffalo Bills under Sean McDermott have had a lot of success on Thursday night. They're 4-1. The Buffalo Bills are. On the other hand, D'Amico Ryans, he's only played one Thursday night game. I don't know if you remember it, but it was the on Halloween last year against the New York Jets. They
Oh
gave the
yeah,
Jets their they gave the Jets their third win way back when last year, and so he's 0-1. So historically, the Bills have a better track record. They're more experienced in these games. So I just think the Bills are just overall the better team, especially on a shorter week. Usually, like it's going to be like, hey man, Josh Allen, go make a play. And if the game's close, I trust him over Davis Mills. Just like you said, the Texans can't run the ball. It's going to be uphill battle for them. But I think it will be a close game. I think Houston might have a turnover or cause some havoc, maybe a punt return, something on special teams. So I think they're gonna get a spark going, but my final score for Thursday night is 27-20 Bills. Some prop bets I like. I like both running backs. Somehow, some way, I think Woody Marks is gonna find the end zone, and also James Cook. The Houston, we talked about it. They don't give up 100-yard rushers, but they have had 8 running backs score this season. So Bills will get close to the goal line, and they'll give James Cook the rock. So I got Woody Marks to score and James Cook to score.
Hmm.
27-20 Bills.
I like that. So you're definitely going on the over end. All right. I am going with a final score of Buffalo Bills 23, Houston Texans 13. I think the Bills are going to win this game by multiple scores. I like the fact that Josh Allen's passing yards over will likely hit in this one with where it's currently sitting at. And I also like him to score a rushing touchdown in this one. I think that matchup is how they're going to be able to exploit Houston. It's not going to be pretty, right? They got to just find
Mm,
a way to get the job done, and that's typically what this Buffalo Bills offense does. On the flip side of things, I think Nico Collins unders are what I'm targeting in this one. I don't like the matchup on the outside for him. And then Woody Marks, got to try to go with the running backs overs against Buffalo. Hope they
yeah.
hit. I like that one as well. So ultimately, guys, we are both rocking with the Buffalo Bills. Drop your pick down in the comment section below. What your hottest take is, what your best player prop is, and me and Dan will catch you guys next time on the Blitz Angle.